also, and it's durable. However, the design is distinct to a specific tribe of people.
Because you have many different ethnicities in Afghanistan
living there, and so this is specific to them. So it's interesting. There's a lot of hybrids too that we saw earlier on the floor, where they what they do is they create something called a gilim, which this probably looks just like a carpet, but if you sit down and actually feel it, this has kind of like a smooth texture.
Right.
This is more.
Excuse me, there we. Oh wow, yes.
Right? So the pattern comes from stitching the thread a specific way.
All by hand, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Rather than this one, which looks like this.
So all of these unique carpets are specific to different regions, because you have a huge population there.
Right, right. And generally what happens is with the hybrid carpets, it's a little bit of this technique and this technique merged together. And usually it's mostly all women who make these carpets. They're handmade, like I said before, and the skills of how to make the carpet are passed down like generation through generation. And so each carpet maker or woman is able to kind of take what she was taught and add a little bit of her own flair. And so because of that, you can't find more than one that looks
all
the same.
very unique.
Yes.
Well, I think with 30 million people in Afghanistan, which is basically like Canada, you're going to get a lot of different unique carpets. So that's how you're going to be able to tell if it's an authentic Afghanistan carpet.
Right. Unfortunately, what happens now is in some of the refugee camps in Iran and Pakistan, people who have this skill are, they make one or two of them, and then the bigger companies buy them out, and so what you end up having is the same design but mass produced. And so it's made by machine. It looks the same, it may feel the same, but it doesn't, I don't think it has that artistic component and that attachment to that one person who created it.
And I think music is very much the same way like that, because anyone that creates music, it's very specific to them from their experiences. And I think up next we have some music. So coming up next, stay tuned because we have some authentic Afghan music. All right, guys, that was fantastic. The musical duo here of Ali on the drums and Massey on the keyboards. So if I understand correctly, all of your music is from different regions, so it has different sounds?
That's right. That's right. And we just played one region for you. Usually Afghanistan is a very tribal country, so every tribe kind of has their own distinct taste in music.
And that first one that you just played is from where?
This one that we played is from Logar province. It's called Logari, where you have the music continuing with breaks in the middle, and usually we have someone dancing, and that's when they would sit, and get up, and change the way they dance.
So you guys left Afghanistan when you were very young?
Yes, that's right.
And about how old were you? Where did you go to after Afghanistan?
Well, I was about 4 years old, and my family, we have 5 members in it, and we left in the 90s to India originally. And you know, I went to school there, learned English, learned music, and after about 10 years in India, we moved to Canada, and I've been here since 2000.
And music must just be a huge, important part of your life.
Definitely, definitely. This is the only way that we could keep our culture alive outside of the country. You know, we can express ourselves through the music, practically.
Because if I understand correctly, in Afghanistan right now, music and dance isn't really a big part of your culture because you're not able to do it as much.
And this all actually even deteriorated more during the Taliban regime, where they would burn instruments down and people would be performing in their basements just to keep the music going. And music has evolved a lot since then. We've modernized, as you can see, we use keyboards and hand drums, but yeah.
Because earlier in the show, we saw the artwork, which had a lot of music, and that was a little bit before your time, which was before the war. Definitely. But you guys have been able to kind of team up here and play some music for us. That's right. And okay, behind me, I noticed a pretty comfy looking cushion. What is this all about here?
This is a toshak, we call it. It's a
toshak.
Toshak.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, it's a cushion. We used to sit on it. And you know, you'll still see this in Afghanistan as part of the culture. We all have it in our homes. We would have couches, and then we would have an Afghan room set up with the carpets and
the drums, and everyone would just be able to jam out down there.
This is where we would sit and perform. And
well, over here we have the keyboard, and clearly this is, like you said, one of the more modernized ways that you've been playing your music, and you're able to really showcase a bunch of different regions on here.
That's right. And instead of usually when Afghan musicians perform, it's about a gang of 20.
Wow, we don't have a gang of 20 here today.
No, but so what we've done is we've put the gang in the keyboard, and Massey can show you some of the sounds that we have.
Do you have a couple little short sounds that you can show us here?
Yes, I do. They call it the robab.
The robab?
Yeah, robab.
Robab. So all of the music that I'm getting is very uplifting, it's very fun, energetic, and you guys have one last song you're going to show us from region. What song are you going to show us next?
We're going to play a song from Qatagan. It's the most recognized song, and it's from the Shamal, which is the south, I believe? Yes, south of Afghanistan.
And so what type of music is it? Because you mentioned before it was broken up by some breaks. What's this one all about?
The one that we played first, that has breaks in it. It's a tribal music. It's music that warriors would play before they would go to war, just to pump up. And so the one we're playing now is more of a household type of music where people dance to it, and weddings are...
celebrations.
Yeah, it's a celebration.
All right, so before we get to this song, I want to close out the show first because this will be a great way to end it. So this was South Asian Living. We got a bit of a glimpse into Afghanistan, and it's so awesome because I think everybody at home is going to be able to walk away with a different impression of Afghanistan. We were able to shed a bit of a positive light on it today. So if you guys want to take it from here, let me show us what you got.
Okay. Thank you.